this was the most blissful experience in my life, writing the book. I love speaking now. I love all the activities that come with being, quote unquote, an author. But I loved writing more than anything. It is an amazing process because it's so internal. It is just you're one-on-one with yourself. The book is about the healing of your soul, the healing of your heart, the emotional healing that needs to happen so that we actually are able to give up our need to be right and become more compassionate and more understanding and have a better life. What I shared of myself, I mean, there's a lot more, of course, to share, but what I did, it was all or nothing. So even though the book is not about me, it was never intended to be about me, but there are snippets all through because as it came, to make the point, sometimes to illustrate my own example. The book is true stories. I decided there are so many how-to books, and some of them are very good and some of them are not, but I didn't want to write a how-to book with steps because I don't think that we actually follow them, even if we read and understand and agree and it makes sense. And the writing is not for everybody because it's very solitary. Very solitary. It was the most solitary experience and period in my life. I hardly saw anybody, but I didn't even want to because it was so fulfilling. We need to heal the soul. We need to heal the woundings, and we need to really step into a different state of being. One of the focuses of my life has always been love. I wanted to learn everything I can about love and why it is so difficult, what makes it work, what makes it not work, why it is often causing so much pain, and what we can do about it for myself. Because I was living in a marriage that started very happily, and we were both totally dedicated to each other. But as time went on, it stopped working as we were growing in different directions. We say love is all there is, and it is true. But we also know that it is not enough. We've all experienced that not being enough. What I learned is when we are so sure that we're right, when we're trying to change another person, it can never work. I understood that everyone around me, I looked around and I saw the world where everyone is trying to change somebody else, and everyone is sure that they're right. And everybody has a point and is really certain that other people have to get their point. And that goes for lovers, for friends, for colleagues, for governments, for countries. When we want them to change, when it is obvious to us that they have to, because it's clear that they should, we're really invested in getting through. We are so intensely, passionately wanting them to change. This energy is not a good energy. And what does it really mean? It's not about who's right, it's about learning how to get along. It's about learning to become close, learning to hear the other person and to become more understanding. And that was the hardest lesson to learn. And I'm still learning it. I'll probably be learning it the rest of my life. But with it, I learned to let go. And as I started letting go, I've discovered that the change that I wanted to happen was happening on its own. While I was pushing for it, it could never happen. Suddenly the person that we were so desperately trying to change, to have him or her get it because he had to, because otherwise we can't be happy, and our life can't work and our relationship can't work, whatever it is, suddenly they don't need to change at all. Suddenly they're wonderful just the way they are. Or not wonderful, but we're fine. I have written this book from my heart, genuinely believing that my sharing had a reason. And if it helps other people, I'm very grateful. But I didn't do it for that, I did it for me. It was the greatest pleasure and the greatest joy in my life. And now I let the book go, I set it free, and it has its own life.